Welcome to another episode of the A-List Music Club. I am your host, the game changer, Wes Truth. And as always, I'm being joined by Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
Good.
All right, yeah.
All right. And as everyone knows, this is the show where each week one of us picks a different album, CD, playlist, whatever you want to say, and we all check it out. So this time it was my turn, and I picked a very different album from one of my all-time favorite bands, and that is Kiss MTV Unplugged. There it is. Definitely a very important concert to the history of Kiss. with who played in it and the fact that it sparked the reunion tour of the original four. And what was it, like 20 some years they hadn't played with Ace and Peter?
Mm-hmm. Something like that, yeah.
You want to hear a real quick piece of Kiss
At
trivia?
least 15. Yeah.
Very little quick. Eric Carr was in the band longer than Peter Criss was.
Wow. I knew that Eric Singer was.
Paul Stanley said that.
Yeah. So, this was a concert that was recorded in 1995. The album was released on March 12th, 1996. Definitely a different album for Kiss. But I think for those of us that love this band and know they dig into the deeper tracks, it's definitely something cool to hear different stuff and not just the top hits.
Well, Kiss was the first concert I ever saw when I was 14 years old. And when the first Alive album came out, when Alive came out in 1975, I was 12 and just completely went over the moon for Kiss. Kiss was was my favorite band at that time, up until I heard Thin Lizzy, and then Thin Lizzy became my favorite band, and Kiss became my second favorite band. Over the years, I've kind of lost the luster for them. I listen to them now and then, and some of the songs are still awesome. I really enjoyed this album because when this came out, because it was very different from what they normally do, and like the song on there, and it's cool to hear alternate versions of songs. The song Going Blind, I think was just, I think it should have been, it was made to be an acoustic version. It really was. And you could tell Gene's, the influence that the Beatles had over Gene in that song and in the See You Tonight. I mean, if you listen to it, you could almost picture them as Beatles songs. What was great was when it came out on MTV, they didn't have all the songs, on the concert, the show that were on the album. And the first time I heard Rock Bottom done acoustically, I said, oh my God. And that's ended up being my favorite version of the song. And I've always loved that song. A lot of the later stuff that they did, like Domino, I think that song's a piece of shit. I honestly it's Gene to be Mr. Funny. Oh, got a man-sized predicament, and it's a big one.
Another song about an underage girl.
Yeah. And I
what you know.
I love this album. It's a great album by one of my if you're asking me my top bands right now, I don't even know if they crack my top 10 of the
Wow.
ones that I like right now. But they're always going to have a certain place in my heart because they were awesome. I used to love them, you know, and that's about it. What about you, Johnny boy?
I like the fact that it's different. Like you said, it's not Detroit Rock City and all the
Right.
same songs they could probably do with their eyes closed by now. Like these are songs you would never hear in concert. They'd probably never do "See You Tonight" live.
No, well, that was off of Gene's solo album.
Off his stuff like that they never do.
Right.
World
like
Without Heroes.
Yeah. Actually, "See You Tonight" is probably my least favorite song on here. I just think it's kind of eh. There's like nothing to it. My favorite song on here, my favorite version of a song is "I Still Love You," which is a good song to begin with. But I think on here it's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, Gene sings 2 songs about underage girls and a song about mold of his penis. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Typical
it's a
Gene
kids.
Simmons.
Yeah, it's a kids show. I, I, I don't know. Why did they do "Forever"? Isn't that like one of their biggest hits? It's kind of already acoustic. I'd rather they did that than "Every Time I Look at You."
I wonder, like, if because they were doing Beth too, but I don't know.
And how does Ace not do "Shock Me"? That's sort of his hit. I mean, 2000 Man is fine. I like that too. Just saying.
Yeah. Because then he wouldn't be able to brag that he's friends with Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. This one's by my own friends, Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. You might know them.
On the Japanese version of the CD, "Got to Choose" is the last song. I know that's your favorite, Tom.
That's one of my favorite Kiss. I mean, if not my favorite, definitely top 3.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably my top 10 70s. Yeah, that's in there. I like that song too. Love Gun, Firehouse. There's a lot of them.
Oh God. Back in the 70s and in the 70s, their albums that could basically do no wrong. I mean, they started the slide with Dynasty, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dynasty was still a good album. And some of the stuff that came after was just friggin' hog slop, man. I mean, honestly, it's I think they were a band that didn't evolve well, because the music style started to change a little bit. And I just don't think they were equipped to deal with that. I don't know. Now, Creatures of the Night, I think, is a great album. I really do. I mean, that's got some really good stuff on there. But yeah, but like you said, John, this was good. They picked a lot of like you said, the obscure songs, which were really, really good. You knew they would have to do Beth and Rock and Roll All Night, but yeah, good. What else, Johnny? More for us?
It says on the show they did "Hard Luck Woman" with Paul Stanley on lead vocals. Mm-hmm. They did "Heaven's on Fire." They did "Spit," "Come On and Love Me," and "God of Thunder." This wasn't on the CD, but they did it on the show. And got to choose. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I like that they sort of made it for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're casual and you see this in the stores, you look at it back and go, "Oh, I know like one of these songs." You probably won't buy it.
Right.
We only know Beth, But people like us, you could probably we know all these songs, what albums they're on. So
Yep.
like that, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I think Coming Home, I thought it was a great opener for this. It makes me want to listen to that song more, which is a lot. Listening to this again, I'm like, a lot of this, I want to listen to more of some of these songs. Plaster Caster and Going Blind, I thought was awesome. Two of my favorite Gene songs. Do You Love Me? Sometimes I get tired of that song, but I like this version where like if it'll come up on my playlist, I'll be like, skip. But I like this version of it, and like every fifth time, maybe I'll listen to it. Domino cracks me up. I just think it's funny. I've always loved Sure Know Something. Probably my favorite song off of Dynasty.
Yeah.
I like World. Yeah. I like World Without Heroes. I like one of the only songs off of The Elder that I listen to. Rock Bottom, fantastic version. See You Tonight, I like it, off of Gene's solo album. I Still Love You and Every Time I Look at You. Not ones that I usually listen to, but I just sort of forget about them. but I like them. 2000 Man, I have Ace the Name Dropper, is fun. That's cool that they brought them back. Beth is Beth. It's not going to change. You love it, you hate it, it's Beth. Nothing to Lose, I thought was really cool. I like the two drums and Eric and Pete on the vocals.
Yep.
I think that's kind of an overlooked song there sometimes. And of course, Rock and Roll All Night is Rock and Roll All Night. Probably my second favorite version on this one, next to the Alive version, because I like that each person gets to sing a verse. Yeah, I think it's one of their coolest and most unique performances for the band. I've seen the DVD. I have the DVD, so once in a while I'll pop it in for something different. I think it's a good, fun time for fans.
Yeah. One thing you can say about them, they were always about the fans. Always about the fans and always about making money.
From the fans.
I mean,
it's funny you picked this, and then I listened to two podcasts. I listened to Eddie Trunk and I listened to Chris Jericho, and there was a guy on there who wrote a book about Kiss. The same guy was on both shows. He was talking about Kiss as I'm listening to this CD in my car. We can review it.
Funny. Yeah.
Pretty funny.
It's called They Seem a Little Weird. It's about Kiss, Cheap Trick, Aerosmith, and Stars. How they all interact and played together and had the same producers and managers, and they're so intertwined. It's pretty interesting, actually.
Well, John, you know that Gene Simmons discovered Van Halen.
Yes.
Now, do you know that, the song Running with the Devil?
Yeah.
The beginning, that was Gene Simmons that came up with that.
Oh, yeah?
And what they did was they recorded 50 different Mercedes horns, car horns, and then fooled around with it. And that's what that is, the opening.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I read Paul Stanley's autobiography. I don't know if you have it or if you've read it or anything.
No.
Very interesting. Do you know he has a deformed right ear? He has no right ear. It's closed and it's like a point coming off the side of his head. That's why he's always wearing long hair. And when they cut the hair for the Elder, do you always notice he has that bandana on?
Mm-hmm.
Covers his ears.
Ah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he said when they did the reunion tour, the first reunion tour, that Peter Criss's drumming was so weak that they had to friggin' like triple mic it up because he couldn't hit the drums hard enough.
Yeah, I can believe it. You can see it in Unplugged. Eric Singer is much louder and heavier.
Oh yeah.
He can't keep up. Yeah, I don't think Pete's a very good drummer. No disrespect. You know?
Right. I agree. He's not bad. I think he's more into the jazz type stuff than.
Yeah, he's older than the other guy, so he grew up listening to jazz and R&B. Right. He was not a hard rock guy. Listen to his solo album. That's what he likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he prefers that slower kind of jazzy drumming. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's rate. I really, really enjoy this album. I give it a 9.
I'm good with that. I do a 9. Yeah.
I agree. I'm gonna give it a 9.
The only 2 Kiss albums that got a 10 from me are the first Alive and Destroyer.
I'm gonna say something controversial. I think Destroyer is kind of overrated.
Do you really?
Yeah. I think it's a great album. Don't get me wrong, it is great. But I don't think it's their best.
Well, I think except for Sweet Pain and Flaming Youth, that album's great.
You like Great Expectations?
Yeah, no, Great Expectations. No. That's not even a hard rock song.
It's definitely different for Gene.
Right.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm not saying it's a terrible album. It's great.
Yeah.
I not want to listen to all the time, really.
Hotter than Hell. You know what else? Hotter Than Hell may get a 10 from me.
I was going to say, that might be the most underrated is Hotter Than Hell. When I was looking at some of it, the songs, like Going Blind's over there, Coming Home.
Oh,
Strange Nights on there.
Yeah.
Strange Way. Oh, my God. That's a great tune.
Strange Way, yeah.
All right, Johnny, what's your pick for next week?
I think the first album would be a 10 if it came out after Alive and it had production and money behind it like Destroyer did.
Right.
Because that album, look at all the hits on it. That album's great.
Yeah.
But it sounds so crappy.
And slow.
Yes. Well, I'm going to pick one of my all-time favorite albums of the 90s. Not this band, because I don't know a lot about the band, but this album I think is not talked about enough for the 90s. This is Urge Overkill. That's the name of the band, Urge Overkill. Saturation is the name of the album.
What's
I've never heard of it.
What's the album? Okay, Saturation. I've heard
Saturation.
I've heard of Urge Overkill. I just don't think I've ever heard anything by them.
This is, I think, is a really good album of the 90s. It didn't have like a big super hit, but it's kind of one of those like if you heard about it, you tell your friends and they'd like it and they'd tell their friends and word of mouth. Critics liked it. It's a really good album. Hope you guys like it.
All right, man. Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Definitely better than Nantucket.
All right. So until next time, John, you want to talk a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, We Like Wrestling Podcast. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about all things wrestling related, past and present. It's on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find podcasts. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We Like Wrestling Podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTruePlaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WestPlaylist. Until next time, truth out.